Switch on the back of this blick and go. Only tap this bitch one time, feel. You gonna say knife life?
The year 95 was like a hectic year. Like I remember I did my first mission with the Kings and all that year, but I ain't become a king till the following year.
Okay.
So
96.
96, right. So
Okay.
I became a king in 96. With 95, I did my first mission
How
with
was
the King.
that? Then get involved from being basically not down with no gang and get involved with the gang. How that felt like? You know what I mean? Like, is there any pressure? Did you feel like obligated to a lot of stuff that you wasn't?
Well, what happened was I started to identify something in me that needed to be fed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like this damn, it's kind of difficult to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like this side of me that I discovered that enjoyed violence, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that side of me,
The whole action part of it.
right, you know, and it's a little difficult to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been in the trenches for a long time, you know, so
Right.
you know, I just enjoyed it, you know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed challenges, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't not react to when a nigga was acting up, you know what I'm saying, around me. I felt like I had to be that guy to step to this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga acting crazy. Like, yo, let me touch your knuckle game real quick, my nigga. Like, niggas around my way knew I was scrap. I was, whatever I had to do, cut and chase niggas down, whatever.
You was holding it down.
I was the first nigga online when they came to doing missions in the 80s. Is when the war with the Latin Kings and the Bloods was really hitting, like it spilled out from the prison system.
Okay.
And, you know, a lot of my niggas folded because the Bloods acquired the 5%ers and the Zulu Nation. So them niggas was like super deep out of nowhere. So they was like, yo, how these niggas got so deep? Everybody that was Zulu Nation turned blood. Everybody that was 5% turned blood.
Yeah.
So niggas got mad stupid deep, right?
Yeah.
So some niggas that was on my side couldn't handle that kind of pressure.
Right.
From having green lights. Nigga, we on foot down the concourse. Like, yo, it's a green light. Niggas on. The first blood we see is on. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas thinking got the same mentality. Like, yo, the first Latin King we see, we popping on them. It was just a time.
So whenever you bump into to the Bloods, y'all was just getting it on.
It was a volatile time, like the mid-90s, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You was going head first, and you a big guy. You already know you was the first. Like, what up?
yeah, out of my age group, I was always like the biggest nigga out of my age. You know?
So you what? So you went to the feds where? MCC, MDC.
So I went from MDC
Valhalla.
to Otisville to Valhalla. I was in Valhalla to MDC, Otisville, Fort
How was
Dix,
your experience going through all that? The transition of, never been to jail before. I mean, just going to the feds, you like.
Yeah, I remember when we first got to Fort Dix, some Mexican nigga got his face splashed. We didn't even get off the bus yet. So the nigga that got off the bus, he got his face splashed as soon as he got off the bus.
Wow.
So right there, you decide whether you're gonna be a lion or a lamb. There's no gray area. You know what I'm saying? It's just I was already an aggressively violent kid. Like all my life, I suffered from power orientation. And what power orientation means that you use aggression to keep people away from you. You know what I'm saying? It's like a barrier. And the only way that barrier comes down is if you start to trust people and you could let people know your kind of side, like, yo, this is really my heart, you know what I'm saying?
Know that you're a real good
Right,
motherfucker.
exactly.
How long you stood there before you copped out? You copped out?
I was in Valhalla for a year and a half before I copped out. Then went to MDC.
And how was that? The feds, they work on months. You know what I'm saying? When they gave you them numbers, the months, you was like.
Yeah, I was like, how much is 120 months? Like,
That's what I'm saying. There you go.
I was like, what the fuck? How much is 120 months? I could do that. That shit light. Them people was like, yo, that's 10 years. Like, that's 10 years. I'm like, 10 years? What the fuck?
You're like, what?
So, like, yo, somebody died in my case that I don't know about. Like, it's just drugs. Like, the fuck I'm doing 10 years for?
After 10 years, you went, where you went?
I went to Fort Dix.
And how was that?
It was bad. It was bad. I wasn't myself. I was putting that fucking pain in. I ain't gonna lie.
Prison strips away almost all personal choice. Your daily schedule, food, sleep, movement, and interactions are tightly controlled. Many people say this psychological loss of freedom is the hardest part. Prison can be violent. Fights, extortion, and threats are common in many facilities. Some people have to constantly watch their back, which can be mentally exhausting. Gangs and hierarchies often control the prison. Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings are the most violent in New York prisons.
You blew trial with
Yeah, blue trial. I got 29 to life. And
for a murder.
Murder, tampering with a witness, intimidating the victim.
Okay.
And I my first jail, besides downstate, which is closed now, was Comstock.
Did you get locked up in New York City?
Yeah, I got locked in New York.
So you went to
Rikers
Rikers
Island
Island?
first, yeah, Rikers Island
Yeah,
first.
so how was that, your experience at 16, 17, going over the bridge?
I mean, I don't want to say that I was scared, but I was. Like,
Yeah.
you scared, that's
I mean,
not,
if a
that's
motherfucker
not
tell
some-
you they not scared,
yeah,
bro.
That's not.
They
that's
fucking
not,
lying like a
yeah, that's a fact.
motherfucker.
That's not to be misinterpreted. Like, I've never been on Rikers Island. I was never soft.
Yeah.
But I know we about to go to jail. Like, this is jail. And if anybody who's listening to this knows jail in the 90s was jail.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Jail in the 90s was jail. Like, nowadays, with this no box shit and everything else,
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
But jail in the 90s,
It was jail.
facts.
I agree with you.
Whereas I get into C-Philly 74, young adolescents at war. And I think from
Let them
that-
know.
Yeah, C-74, young adolescents at war, that's how it was. And I ain't, no lie, that's exactly what it was. Head on a swivel, niggas, you could get got at any given moment. Any given moment you can get got. And the truth of the matter is, head on a swivel, keeping your P's and Q's on alert. And that's not even just with, like, prisoners. Police, too.
Yeah.
Like, when I was down there, real talk, we gonna get real. Police was putting niggas to fight each other
Yeah.
to see who was gonna be giving out the food and who was gonna be, the head of the house.
Were you a gang member then?
Yeah, I was. I was Latin.
So
kid.
you went to jail as a gang member.
That's a fact.
And how was that?
I mean, being in prison, of course, by itself is ridiculous. But when you add gang affiliation, that just amplifies the whole experience. That brings a whole different dynamic to being in prison, being incarcerated. Because not only now are you having to face and deal with your situation as far as your incarceration, but you have to face and deal the fact that you got to answer to people and deal with backlash for maybe wrong actions and be more conscious of what's going on around you. Because, like I said, we at war and we doing what we need to do to survive in general.
Right. I get it.
My first spot.
How was your experience in
I ain't
downstate?
gonna lie, downstate was it was a different animal. Off the bus, yo, get your head on the wall. Don't talk. If you spin, you look the other way. They trying to smash you. And of course, still being affiliated, that aspect still came in line. So now, if I'm in a bus,
that enhanced the
that
intense.
enhanced the intensity, the toxicity of the situation.
Yeah.
And I was there for like 6 months, I think, trying to get to a spot. But that's because I was down there doing stupid shit. I was in downstairs like, fuck this. I got time to do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hear nothing. I'm gonna keep it a stack. When I blew trial, I really thought I was gonna die in jail, bro.
Yeah.
I really thought I was gonna die
I
in
mean,
jail.
you got 29 years.
You get what I'm saying?
That's like almost like a lifetime, man.
But remember I said we deal with impulse. I couldn't see 3 days in front of me.
Yeah.
You expect me to see 29 years in front of me? I don't see none of that. And so because I ain't see none of that, I acted that way. I acted like I'm not coming home. I'm staying here. So it being I'm staying here, I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure I'm gonna survive.
How long you was in Comstock?
6 months maybe.
Okay.
Gang related stuff, got into some shit in the yard, bunch of us had to, put in some things. I went to the box for 6 months for a fight.
Okay.
But it was not just me and you fight. It was me and everybody, me and fellas against.
So you went to the box?
Yes.
For how long?
6 months.
Never trying to tell anybody what to do, man, but just telling you this is not the place you want to be. Freedom's better. Get out the streets before it's too late. And besides, the only place worse than this is a casket. Please, man, if you're seeing this, stay free.